Hey everyone, welcome back to another interesting episode of the Retro Gamers Podcast. Episode number 229, Larry here.
And Anthony here.
And it looks like we have a guest, possibly.
We have a baby.
But very hairy baby.
I have a very hairy baby who is just slung over my shoulder.
That is like full weight on his shoulder. That cat, I've never seen a cat more comfortable in my life.
I know. Well, we're going to put him down in a second, right?
Oh,
we're going to put you down.
I don't think he's going to want to move.
No, he doesn't want to move.
Holy cow. That is, I do that with my parents' cat. He just launches right off me.
Yeah, no. This one, I sling him over my shoulder, and he's just like thud, and then he's like, I'm good here. I'm good.
pretty sure you can go outside with him like that.
Yeah, he might enjoy that. You going to enjoy that? You going to enjoy? Hi.
Who are you? What are you doing?
He's like, what are you doing? Let me sleep. I'm trying to rest.
Yeah, basically much.
I'm trying to rest here.
I found a comfortable spot on this human shoulder.
Basically. All right, so we're going to go down now because I have to do my show.
Oh.
See? He's very amenable.
Now he's going to destroy everything.
Yeah, now he's just going to destroy the couch. So, like, you put me down?
Oh, gosh. Awesome. So
here we are.
Here we are. Yes, and actually I think we got a good full episode going on. We got some fun stuff to talk about this week.
That we do.
Just out of curiosity, I did not watch it yet. Did you check out Mortal Kombat yet?
Considering the fact that we're recording on Saturday and it just came out yesterday and I worked, no.
Okay, fair enough. I'm hearing amazing things about it. Like all but one person I know.
Yes,
gratefully enjoyed the movie.
I've generally heard mixed reviews, but I've heard enough. Okay. Like I've heard more good than bad. So. I do plan on checking it out, and I think maybe we review it next week's episode.
Maybe
next week's episode.
I'm just moving the camera. I kind of forgot where I am.
Trying to do a horror movie setup because the door behind you now. I want to see somebody creep out of it.
That'd be weird.
That'd be awesome. I wouldn't even tell you.
Wow, thank you.
I'd just be like this.
At least I had the wherewithal to give you, inform you when I saw a shadow walk past your door that day.
Oh, the ghost that lives here?
Yeah, so many months ago. But in any event, yeah, I'm actually still here at my cousin's a couple more days here, then I'll be back in my humble abode.
Yep, and I am in my humble abode as always.
There we go. I like it.
Yes.
Yes, I'm really, but again, Mortal Kombat, I'm hearing amazing things about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm going to look forward to it. HBO Max, or if you're able to get out to a theater, wherever you are, definitely check it out. So, yes, we'll talk about that next week.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and I have to sign up with HBO Max just so I can watch it and then cancel.
Oh, I'm kind of surprised. I thought you would have HBO Max.
No, I'm a rotating streaming service guy.
Fair enough.
I don't want to.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I don't want to pay like top dollar for all these things. And right now I have what do I have right now? Because now I got rid of Netflix.
Okay.
I'm one of those people now.
No, I don't blame you. It's a great idea to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm on Disney Plus and Hulu. Is that all I have?
I feel like those are the yearly subscriptions.
Yeah, Hulu's my yearly subscription, but it was like they had it on sale like at Christmas time for like $2 a month, and I'm like, okay, I'll pay $2 a month for that.
That's why I have HBO Max. It was like sign up 6 months up front for like 20% off. I was like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I have Hulu, and then I have Disney Plus, and I think that's it. Wow, have I cut it down that much?
I have.
Yeah, I was just to say WWE Network is gone.
Yeah, that moved to Peacock.
Yep, Peacock. I have a free subscription to Peacock for.
How do you have that?
Well, for reasons.
Man. All right, whatever.
I'm doing professional reasons.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're in the biz, the show biz.
I'm sorry. I'm still in the biz, even though I live in Florida.
I have Peacock, so I did the $2.50 a month sign up. For 4 months for $10, not realizing it's the ad one where the ads pop up every.
So you just have to watch a few commercials. What's the end of the world?
I hate commercials.
I'm doing that on Hulu for $2 a month. It's like it takes me a half an hour to watch an episode of Cheers. That's what it was like when it was on TV.
Cheers is on Hulu?
Yes.
Oh, it's on Paramount too.
Ever since
I thought they were pulling all these.
Once I lost access to Friends, Cheers has been my sitcom that I fall asleep to.
I've been binge watching Frasier. I'm on season 9. I
couldn't get past season 2.
You know what it is? I know but this is retro. These shows are retro. So
yeah, we're doing a little retro TV. Sorry,
that's
guys.
Okay. Actually, Paramount Plus has Nick Arcade.
Yes, and I saw that, and now I want Paramount Plus. But I have a friend who works for them, so I'm looking for a hookup.
How dare you?
I think I have a friend that works for almost every service.
You know what? I was talking to my parents the other day, and my parents, they're like, "Oh, so and so's coming over to help out with the plumbing, and then so and so's coming over to help out the electricity and everything like that." Because my parents, that's very old school. Like everyone knows someone in a trade. So my dad has friends for everything they need to be done to build a house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Us, we know people who can get us access possibly to apps.
Yeah, exactly. It's apps, it's video games, and stuff like that.
Welcome to the now. I'll say real quick and then I'll move on, which actually could translate to gaming as well. Because I've been watching Frasier. I was in like my mid to late teens when the show started. I didn't get any of the jokes back then, but now I'm getting all the jokes.
I think you were younger than that.
Well, no, it was
early
93.
90s. Early 90s, yeah.
Yeah, so I was 13.
Oh, okay.
But now I get the jokes. And kind of the same thing with video games. Like when I go back and play a lot of the old games, not that I get the jokes, there's really no jokes, but like my patience is different now. Actually, I have a little bit more patience
and I have
than I did back then. Yes, I know, which I find funny. We flip-flopped on that.
Yeah, we did flip-flop on it. I mean, granted, I still finish games more than you do.
This is true.
But I just have less patience when I play them.
So you get through them quick.
Exactly. It's like, can I finish this already? Jesus Christ. Like,
Speaking of which, I think we'll get into it right now. So we got some interesting topics. So one thing I want to talk about first, to kind of bring people up to speed in my dilemma.
You always have a dilemma.
I do, and I don't know why.
Because you're constantly shopping.
No, maybe.
Yes.
But like I don't bring it upon myself. Though in watching Frasier, maybe I'm getting some psychological, psychiatry that I'm delving into my deeper self.
Oh Lord.
Id. So last week we talked about how I canceled Polymega and I picked up Analogue.
Correct.
So now, as of this recording, it's been 2 weeks and 1 day since I placed my Analogue order. Nothing is shipped yet, and it's really worrying me. Analogue is a company, great company, but on their website they specifically say they do not respond to social media questions. So, because I tried messaging them on Instagram and on Twitter before I read this, and they just never got back to me. Then I read the website. I'm like, all right, so I submit an email. And we do kind of go back and forth with the emails, but it's weird not being able to directly contact someone through social media, kind of like in the now.
Right.
To be like, hey, look, I'm just curious what's going on, because my order includes a system, the NT Mini, that they're no longer going to make it. So I want to make sure that it's going through. And when I placed my order, even though I got a confirmation, when I placed my order, my credit card declined it at first. I have funds. Just the credit card doesn't recognize, I guess, where it was coming from. Apple, it does it a little more because I have an Apple card. But then I got through it and I placed the order. What I also did was, a friend of mine was looking for a mini NT, or the NT Mini Noir. And I'm like, all right, let me see if I can place another order for that separately. And I was able to, and I had it shipped to him directly. So I didn't buy two, he went to one. Of course, he got his last week.
Of course it did.
So I placed the order like a half hour later, and he got his first.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So now I'm like, what is going on? I email Analogue, and they're like, oh, sorry, we will, actually I sent you a picture of the thing. Sorry about the delay. We will contact our shipper and get you out a confirmation ASAP. It's been a couple of days. I mean, I feel like ASAP could have been a little bit better than that. Here's my other concern. And again, this can happen to any company. So this is not a knock on Analogue. I want to say that right now. But my buddy who got the NT Mini texted me and says that it doesn't work.
Oh.
It's not booting up. And you can go to the website. The NT Mini was $500.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. So then I got to contact Analogue. So now I'm the middleman. And again, no reflection on my friend, no reflection on Analog. I feel bad because now there's a third person involved, and the telephone game is played for a reason.
Yes.
So now I'm trying to sync everything up, and I tried emailing Analog, like, hey, email my friend directly. He'll be in contact with you. And of course, who gets the response? I do.
Of course.
So I'm like, so I'm actually going out to see him today. Maybe we can try and fix this thing. But I'm just very concerned because I canceled my Polymega order, and I can't get it back even if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a super issue with the Analog.
Mm-hmm.
And one final thing I'll mention, like, someone waiting like for their prom date to show up, and I keep checking my emails like a madman, waiting for responses from Analogue, which usually arrive like late at night, because I don't know if they're here in the UK or something like that.
Right.
It's driving me nuts. I need help. I need professional help.
You need professional help in the sense of you need some patience. That's one. And two, you need to stop like buying everything.
But to be fair, I canceled an order and I bought something else. So that's
right. And look what happened. You should have just waited. It's like the retro freak problem.
No, that was something different. A, you bought it from me. B, in a different country, and C, the stupid thing didn't work.
Wait. I didn't buy it for you.
Oh no, you're right. I'm sorry.
No,
I ordered it. No, you're right.
Right. I offered to buy it for you in Japan, but you said no. I ordered it from Europe, and I'm like, okay. And then you threw it out.
Now that I think about it, no, the European Genesis cartridges are the same size, I think, as American.
Yeah, but you told me you bought it from like the UK or something like that. And
I did.
Yeah, and you said when you got it, there was the issue with the Genesis cartridges. And I said, I go, they do stick a little bit, but you only have to
No.
You only have to put the cartridges once and then copy the game over to an SD card, and you're fine.
No. You misunderstood me when I said the cartridge literally was not sized properly.
Oh, right. Okay.
Or I should say the Retro Freak wasn't sized properly for the cart, because the Retro Freak wouldn't even take its own Game Gear adapter.
Probably. Well, I mean, did you check to see if like
I measured it?
No. But EU cartridges were different than US cartridges?
The Retro Freak's own adapter would not fit into the Genesis cart.
See, and the simple solution to that would have been send it back.
It would have cost me $100
and get a replacement.
Well, okay, because I emailed.
Right. No, I understand that. I go, but how much has it been costing you now? At this point, I'm thinking.
Still,
I know. But look, bottom line is whatever it is that it with that, I just think throwing it out was the bad idea.
Well, I agree with you 100%. I've never said throwing it out was a smart idea.
Yeah.
That was just me being frustrated.
Right. I would have at least gotten a refund. I would have been like, I'll send it back to you. Give me a refund.
At that point, I figured I've wasted so much money. What's another whatever I spent on it?
Oh, Larry.
That was just me. That was me being me.
Meanwhile, I've got mine sitting right here. It's very pretty. I love it.
But it doesn't play everything. These analogs will play everything.
Well, this plays pretty much every cartridge-based system that I need.
No, I meant like homebrews, hacks, flash.
Oh, yeah. I haven't tested that yet.
Because it's emulation, so it may or may not.
Right. I haven't tested a homebrew. Yeah. I don't know if I have a homebrew. Do I?
You got those Zelda games.
Yeah, I should try it. I'll test it. I will test the Zelda game on it, and we'll see if it works.
Fair enough. I mean,
not on the show, of course, but no, I know you're not buying it. But it's just when you talk about the analog and the Polymega and all that stuff, it just makes you think of your retro freak issue. That just made me laugh when you threw it out. So
God, I'm so mad.
God, I was so happy when I bought that in Japan. I miss Japan. And speaking of Japan,
I was going to say, Japan is an interesting situation because you did fall in love with Japan when you were traveling over there.
Yeah, I really did.
And talk about spending money. I think you probably spent more money in Japan, game-wise, than I probably would have if I would have kept the Polymega order.
Which is very true, but also consider the situation. I was only traveling there for work.
Mm-hmm.
I also knew that I was only traveling there for, a limited amount of time. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know how many trips to Japan I was going to do. And I tried to take advantage every time I went there by picking up games, at the video game stores there. So yes, I did spend a lot of money on video games in Japan, but it was like one of those things where it's like, take advantage of the opportunity while you have it. Cause I knew it wasn't going to be a situation where it's like, I'm living there and I can go whenever I want. It's just like, I'm only here for a week. Let me swing by and see what I can pick up. I'm all right. Or I'm here for 2 weeks. All right. I'll swing by and see what I can pick up. As opposed to, I live here and I can get it whenever I want. So that's the reason why, like, I took advantage of that. And to be honest with you, even still, I don't think I spent like a ton of money when you consider, like, let's say I probably traveled there, like, I think a dozen times.
Okay.
With my job, I'd probably say if I spent on average, maybe $100 each time on average.
Really?
Probably.
I would have thought it was a little more than that. Okay.
Maybe 100 to 150 each time at most. And the only reason why I say that is because there were trips where I didn't go. I didn't get a chance to buy. So I'm just averaging it out over the trips. It's just some trips were really like very labor intensive or short. Like some trips I took were only like, oh, I'm on the ground for 3 days. I didn't have time to go,
Gotcha.
That's why I'm saying, like, I maybe spent $100 a trip on average. So, which isn't bad when you think about it. I mean, you spent that in probably the last hour.
Maybe, because Analogue may be charging me again for everything. And also, you were my expense mule in those trips.
Well, yeah, and that's the other thing. It's like the extra money that I wound up spending was for you.
But a little bit of Japan has finally come home to the U.S.
It has, because my favorite store in Japan, and the world-renowned, I might add, because a lot of people know about this store, even if you've never been to Japan. Super Potato, who we talked about ad nauseum when I was doing my travels.
The unofficial retro video game store of the Land of the Rising Sun.
Yes, absolutely. And by the way, it was only, I think, a week ago. Not even a week ago. I think it was a couple of days ago where I got one of those annual reminders on Facebook that it's been 4 years since we opened Minion. It's been 4 years since Minion Park opened at Universal Japan. So I was getting like all the picture updates, and like 4 years since I went to Tokyo Disney and all this stuff. And I'm like, it's been 4 years since Super Potato. No, it's been 3 years since Super Potato, because I went to Japan for another thing that opened in like June of 18. So it's been like 3 years since I've been to Super Potato, which is very depressing when I think about it, because I love Super Potato. But anyway, the great news to come out, I think about a week ago or so, is that Super Potato now has an online shop on eBay.
Yes. So everyone in the U.S. and North America, I guess in the world, I don't know how eBay works, now has access to Super Potato, which might be a good thing, might be a bad thing.
Very dangerous.
It's going to be very good for Super Potato, don't get me wrong.
Oh, it's going to be great for them.
You can find them on eBay at Super Potato _retro _games.
Yep. And I highly recommend them for any type of Japanese game that you're looking for. Like the quality is amazing. Like they take care of their stuff. Like, I've brought stuff back. I mean, Larry, you have stuff where it's like things are like in box and practically pristine, so they really take care of their stuff. Their cartridges always work. You definitely get a good bang for your buck. Now, granted, when I was looking at the prices on eBay, I'm pretty sure they're marked up a little bit.
I'm sure that I wanted to ask you about that. Looking through and granted, it's been 3 years. Who knows?
Yes.
These might be the prices.
It's true.
But comparatively speaking, how do you feel about the prices? Even if you were to factor in a little inflation.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the prices, I thought that they were a little bit higher, but not to the point where it's like, oh my God, they're so expensive, I wouldn't buy them. But when you look at the shipping charges, and that's where my question comes in. I mean, they want to charge $20 per cartridge, and I'm wondering, if you buy multiple ones, will it just be one charge for that shipping, or do you have to pay $20 for each cartridge? So question I need to find out, because I do want to pick up some stuff from Super Potato.
Yeah, and there is some. In fact, I just randomly clicked on a game because I wanted to look into that shipping part of it. Because look, $20 shipping from Japan, I'll take it.
Yeah, no, that's not bad.
But I hear you talking about the multiplying. I clicked on a game. Basically, it's Guerrilla War.
Yep.
In box with manual, Famicom version. Right now, going for $560. That is great price, but that is crazy.
Isn't that about how much money you threw out in the trash with your Retro Freak?
It wasn't even that much.
No, I know.
Hey, Clock Tower is $95. Oh wait, no, that's from somebody else.
I still have Clock Tower.
No.
No, you want to look up pricey ones. Look up Illbleed on Dreamcast.
No, but and they have 220 as of this recording on April 24th. They have 224 games up for sale. Again, all Jap. I don't think I've seen US. All Japanese. And relatively speaking, Double Dragon 2, $120. Gradius 3, $45. Wrecking Crew, $111. So they got some interesting games. It's just a matter of now. And here's what I like. It should be a little easier to find some of those Japanese games that they have a different title over in Japan.
Doki Doki Panic.
Exactly. No, not only that, but here, Kung Fu Master.
Yeah.
Here in the US, Kung Fu Master. Over in Japan, it's called Spartan X.
Right.
But what they do is they'll say Spartan X, parentheses, Kung Fu Master. Exactly. Right. So they'll tell you what it's about.
That's like Castlevania. Like if you look up Castlevania, I don't want to pronounce what that is.
So it looks like a great lineup. I think the prices seem to be fair. Star Wars, $264, which actually I think is fair. The one I keep eyeing, though, and I got to figure out if this is one of the ones that I asked you to pick me up when you were there. It's a copy of Salamander, which is basically our Life Force.
I thought I did pick that up for you.
But here's the thing, though, because I don't remember my cartridge being a translucent blue carts.
Oh,
this one.
Maybe it was a different. Yeah, they had different carts.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the look of this cart, so I don't.
Yeah,
I gotta take a look at it. But I would pull the trigger on this one. It's not too bad at all.
Then pull the trigger on it.
But what I found interesting was I think there is a warranty, which I find kind of weird. It's going from so far. So
no, it's standard for Super Potato. No, Super Potato. Like when I bought stuff, they tried, they were so cute trying to explain the warranty part to me. But they managed to say I had 30 days or something like that, which was great because I would look at them and just smile and be like, okay, sure. I'm definitely not returning it.
Oh, here we go, Anthony. This answers your question. We combine shipping. Save your shipping costs.
There you go.
If you purchase more than one item, please contact us before you make a payment. So I guess they can give you a price.
Yeah, because that's what I would do. I would essentially buy multiple things and then just get one shipping cost. It's not, because if you're paying $20 to ship, you might as well get 3 or 4 things.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. All right, so definitely check out again. It is Super Potato _retro _games. They've only been up for, like Anthony said, I think for about a week and a half. Yep. They already have 100% positive feedback with 10 responses. And definitely check them out. They got some great stuff on there.
And like I said, I highly recommend them. My Japanese video game collection is pretty substantial thanks to Super Potato. Awesome. And Book Off was the other store I would go to.
Oh, that's right, Book Off.
Yeah, remember Book Off? Yes. Yeah, I was so happy when I found Book Off in LA. There was one in LA, and I'm like, wow. I was like, that's cool.
Oh, that's the one that we went to, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Or maybe just outside LA or something.
Yeah, it was right. It was outside LA. I think it was more towards Long Beach.
Awesome.
But yes.
All right, cool. So you got this. I mean, you do have an extensive collection of Famicom games and even some Super Famicom games.
Yeah, not a huge collection, but I have a decent collection.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you when you are in that? And I know it's kind of on again, off again. But when you get in that collecting mood, do you focus on a system, or do you be like, you know what, let me get this type of genre of gaming? You ever kind of
no, I kind of get in the mood of it's console based. So it's okay. I'll look at my collection and I'll be like, hey, why don't I have this game for Dreamcast? And then I start looking at Dreamcast games and I'm like, oh, I was like, there are a few games on Dreamcast I want to get. So I kind of get into that mode. Okay. So a perfect example is I think my Resident Evil 3 game, I don't know what happened to it, but I no longer have it for Dreamcast, and I don't know why. So I've been thinking for a while now. It's I need to pick up Resident Evil 3, and then I'm looking at my Dreamcast collection, and I'm like, there are a couple of other games that I had before that I'm missing. So I'm like, I don't know where these went. Games literally just disappeared.
You mean you didn't assume you had your entire collection, went and bought the system, and realized you have nothing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's somebody else's problem. But yeah, no. I'll get more in a console mood where it's like, you know what? I feel like playing my Dreamcast. And then I just go and start shopping for Dreamcast games.
All right. Yeah, I kind of go in the same mode. Like I'll focus on a system, especially like if I have a new, like, for a while I was going handheld, because I broke out my Game Boy and stuff like that. But now I think I'm going to be switching focus. And this is personally speaking, and I'm curious, people out there, listening and watching, if you ever, like, when you start collecting, do you focus on like Anthony said, on a system, or as I said, like on a genre? But I think it's time, at least for me, I don't know about you, to start focusing on TurboGrafx games, a system that really went in the US somewhat under the radar.
Yeah, it did, especially because it predated the other 16-bit consoles everybody knows, which are Genesis and Super Nintendo.
Yeah, and of course we talked about it before. I think only knew like one person who had a TurboGrafx.
Yep.
And even then, we're like, because I remember I'm like, what is this? Like, why'd your parents get you this when there's a Nintendo and a Genesis that's available?
No, exactly. It's just strange. So, but it was, like you said, it was one of those things where it's just like, it just did not compete well with the other two. That's all. I think, and maybe it was just because like Sega and Nintendo by that time already kind of dominated the marketplace, more Nintendo than Sega. So.
I think that's what it was. Hudson Soft tried. I don't know if they really ever wanted to fully throw their hat into the ring against Nintendo and against Sega, because a lot of times, especially you see it nowadays with some of these companies, like instead of going after the head cheese, you kind of just stick to your own guns and be like, you know what, we're just going to focus on us. And sometimes that works.
Yeah. And I have to give them credit also for game design, because if you look at their cartridges, they're essentially larger versions of what the Switch games have become. Which
much larger,
yeah, but you know what I mean? Like it was a very interesting design for a cartridge. It was a new format.
Not too new. Remember, Sega did use that format as well.
True. But I don't know. I just like the cards.
No, it's very, they're called Hue cards. And it was very, you're right, to have a game on this, like a credit card kind of sort of. And what was interesting was, of course, with the TurboGrafx 16, it was like five different, almost completely different, type of formats. You have the Hue card, you have a Super Graphics card, CD-ROM, Super CD-ROM, and then arcade CD-ROM, and they all offered their own graphics, music, style, gameplay. And when you think back on it, on the history of games, some games that are even, especially some that are in my top 10, I don't know about your top 10, are games that were either exclusive or originally on TurboGrafx.
Yeah,
like Splatterhouse
for sure.
Bonk's Adventure,
Bonks as well. Yep.
Some amazing it's weird for a genre of pinball. The TurboGrafx 16 kind of had a couple of humdingers for pinball games.
I don't know what it was. Like, I guess they just felt like bringing pinball to your home in a video game was just going to be appealing. So
Alien Crush and Devil's Crush.
Yeah, and I think I have one of those. I think I have Alien Crush.
I think I have Alien Crush. I think you got me the Japanese version.
Did I? Well, what do I have? Hold on.
I know I have a very small handful of Hue cards, most of which you got me from Super Potato.
I have a handful of TurboGrafx games. Now, granted, these all came from Japan, and for the most part, some of them are still sealed. So, first one though was Battle Royale with the cover, which I shown recently.
Great game,
which was really cool. It's Devil's Crush.
Okay, yeah.
So Devil's Crush, Bomberman '93,
a game that originated on TurboGrafx. Well, made it big on TurboGrafx. Now it's all over the place.
Big on TurboGrafx. A game I've never opened, but I want to try, and I should try it on my Retro Freak. But Maniac Pro Wrestling.
I don't think I've ever played that one. That's interesting.
So And then Stratego. Remember the board game Stratego?
Yes.
When I saw that, I was like, okay, I have to buy that. And it was only like $10. And then, of course, Splatterhouse.
Of course.
Yeah, which
awesome.
I bought. What? My cat likes Splatterhouse. So yeah, so like that's pretty much that's my TurboGrafx collection. And again, all from Japan because I bought them all at Super Potato.
Mm-hmm.
But still, pretty like all of those, like to me, and granted I haven't played them all, but like I read up on them and they were all pretty solid games. So at least
definitely
I bought them for the fun factor myself.
Oh no, absolutely. Also, TurboGrafx had some great shoot 'em ups. R-Type was big on that, the R-Type series. And then, of course, before I think Symphony of the Night took over the top spot, probably the best, and even nowadays still heralded as one of the best Castlevania games, as we know it, Castlevania Dracula X.
Yep, Castlevania Dracula X, which eventually made its way to Super Nintendo, I want to say.
It did, but it was edited, so it wasn't the same.
Mm-hmm.
And you can, of course, you can play the original Castlevania Dracula X on the TurboGrafx Mini. It's on there.
Yes.
Actually, and speaking of which, and this is a testament to this system that again that no one really was aware of back then. The TurboGrafx Mini, of all the minis that came out, I think we've mentioned this before. I think the TurboGrafx is one of the best minis to have come out.
I think it's arguably the best, and I think the reason why is because it came out kind of late in the mini, release windows. So I think they just took what worked for the other ones and then just made it better. Like I do think that it's my favorite ones by far. Now, granted, I never opened my PlayStation one for good reason, but and my Commodore 64 one, which again I bought in Italy.
Yeah. So it's all in Italian. So there you go.
No, it's still all in English, but it's but I never opened it. It's just that I was there, it was on the shelf, and I'm like, okay,
why not?
Yeah, what did you bring back from Italy? I got you guys a bunch of magnets, and I got myself some video games.
There you go.
Oh, and then I also brought back from Italy Low Hobbit. Remember?
No.
I bought on Xbox. I wanted to get just a game.
Yes.
I wanted to get a game in Italy just to say I bought a video game in Italy. Yes. So I bought The Hobbit on Xbox, but it's Low Hobbit.
Yes, I remember that now.
Low Hobbit.
I mean, you should try to see if it works. What?
You're such a what? Come here. You're such a whiner. Come on. Oh, here we go.
And back on the show. Whoa! You almost slung him all the way over.
There we go.
And he stops. This is like a child, like a.
He's just very
masculine child.
Yeah, he's been very needy lately. What can I do?
Look at him, king of the castle.
Basically, who's in charge here? It's not me. Not me, right? It's all you. It's all you. Anyway,
so I'm going to be looking out for some TurboGrafx games. They're going to be focusing on that because even though, and again, don't take it as a complaint about Analogue, just some concerns about Analogue. Mm-hmm. When their Duo goes on pre-order, which is going to be the TurboGrafx and the TurboGrafx CD in one unit, I'm going to pre-order it, so I might as well start buying up.
Yeah.
My copy of Jim Power and the Lost Dimension on TurboGrafx CD has officially shipped.
Oh, that's good.
So that's on its way. That was a Kickstarter. So at least I have one CD game to play on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to start collecting those Hue cards because I did download some TurboGrafx games on the Wii Virtual Console because they had access to the TurboGrafx library.
Yep.
And that's really where I first started playing a lot of these TurboGrafx games. So because I never owned the original system. But I think with that being my main focus now, it's going to be a lot more difficult to find games because I don't really see them out there that often. Mm-hmm. Like in flea markets or even Game On usually doesn't have too many. I mean, they got an influx recently, which I can't wait to get over there. But normally speaking, they don't normally carry TurboGrafx. So it's going to be interesting to find.
Yeah, exactly. And when you get over there, I would appreciate if you sent over some prices to me.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, and then other than that, do you have any news or anything? I really haven't checked the front there.
I do. Hold on a second.
Okay. Don't pull your arm.
Yeah. Let me check.
He's asleep. This freaking cat is asleep.
Oh, yeah. No, he's sleeping. He's going to sleep right now.
That is fantastic.
And he's purring like crazy.
So is he hanging on to you enough where you can let go of him?
No. If I let go of him, he's going to slide off. So anyway,
this is phenomenal. Please tune in on YouTube.
got some news here.
Okay.
So one thing, I don't know if we talked about this one, but the Blizzard Arcade collection.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you they a couple weeks ago they got an update.
Oh.
With 2 new games added to it.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's interesting.
So the latest update added. Do you remember the game The Lost Vikings?
Yes, that's actually one of the games that's on, I think, already the collection.
Yes. So they added the sequel, The Lost Vikings 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then RPM Racing, which I don't know if you remember.
I think that's a sequel to, or a sequel or prequel to the current Rock and Roll Racing that was on the collection.
Exactly. So they added a couple of sequels to that, and so
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So if you have the Blizzard collection, or if you're looking for the Blizzard collection, the arcade collection, there are now 2 new games that you can play on it.
That's an update. That's not a DLC.
No, it says it's an update.
Now that's cool. Like to actually add games to a collection like that.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like what the Nintendo Switch Online does, with the NES library and the Super Nintendo library.
True, but this is like a third party, so you're not used to seeing that.
Very true. Very, very true. And then we talked about Mortal Kombat. Jesus Christ, are you really sleeping?
He's sound asleep.
He's out cold. Look at his paw. Oh no!
There he goes. He's up now. So you moved me, human.
Do you want to move? Okay.
There he goes.
Bye bye. Now he's on the couch. Okay. Ooh, freedom. Get the blood flowing back in this arm. Anyway, so there was news. I don't know if we even brought it up on here yet, or if we forgot to last week, but there was news that the final season of Castlevania will be coming to Netflix on May 13th.
Oh, yeah, no, we didn't talk about that.
No, we didn't talk about that. So very excited about that. What is it, season 4, I believe?
I want to say 4, yeah.
Yeah, season 4. I'm looking forward to whatever threesome they cough up in this one.
Some super orgy.
Yeah, looking for a super orgy. So it will have 10 episodes.
Oh, okay.
So we got 10 episodes, and that's similar to season 3. Season 3 has
that's
10
what
episodes.
I thought. Okay.
However, that's not the end of the news, because Deadline Hollywood reported when this news broke that there is a spin-off in the works.
Really?
No details on what the spin-off is going to be, but we are going to, in fact, see a Castlevania, or at least that's the news right now. Whether they go through it is another story, but a Castlevania spin-off is in the works, so Castlevania will not be ending just with
this season 4.
Yeah, season 4. So let's keep an eye out for that
iteration, because remember, this version of Castlevania is basically based on Castlevania 3.
Correct.
I would love to see. You think they'd go into like I know no news is broke on it, but maybe like Symphony of the Night, focus on Alucard?
Yeah, it could be that. Rumors are prequel. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's just Dracula before this or something.
Go with Simon Belmont,
or maybe go with Simon. Could be interesting. Since Castlevania 3 is 100 years later or whatever.
I don't remember.
It's just a number, right? So I would love for them to go back and do Simon Belmont, because Simon, of course, Castlevania 1 and 2. You know, and who doesn't want to see Castlevania 2 brought to the animated stage? So
some people can pass.
Yeah, some people can pass. So there's news there, so keep a lookout for that. And then the only other thing that I have is we have a special retro birthday.
Oh, do we? All right.
We do, and actually, it's kind of a double retro birthday.
Oh, okay.
So we are celebrating on, when was it? I want to say April 25th, which would be this past Sunday.
Yes,
the 35th anniversary of probably your favorite shoot 'em up, or the first shoot 'em up you've ever played, Gradius.
Wow.
And not only is it the 35th retro birthday of Gradius, but you should know this, it is also the 35th retro birthday for the Konami Code, because the Konami Code debuted in Gradius. Everybody knows it through Contra, but Gradius was the first game to actually have the Konami Code.
Wow. I wish I had my Wild Bill's mug I have that has a Konami Code on it.
Mm-hmm.
35 years. Holy cow.
35 years of Gradius and the Konami code.
Gradius is one thing. It's a game. Like, it's meant to be out there. The Konami code was always meant for just the testers. Obviously, It was never meant to get out, and it did, and it became a phenomenon unto its own that made it, I think, I'm sure there's references in pop culture that are aware of what the code is. So I think it's more impressive about the code than with, because think about it. Like, who remembers the code to get to Mike Tyson in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out? Other than you, because I know you have a good memory.
I actually don't remember that code.
So. Okay, fair enough. You know what I mean? Like, who knows all those codes? But the Konami code stood the test of time. So
that it did.
Congratulations to both.
Exactly. I need to get a Game Genie. Now you just reminded me.
Game Genie.
I need a Game Genie. Because now I don't feel so bad using one. I never had, I had one when I was a kid, but I never really used it because I was always like, I don't want to cheat. I just want to play through the games.
Doesn't the Retro Freak have one built in?
It might. I don't know.
I feel like you did. I don't know.
All right. But anyway, yeah, Konami code turning 35, which is great. Absolutely. I could not get through Contra without that code. That's just face facts. And I know there are plenty of people who can. It's just that I was never the type of person I used to play a game on repeat, but I never played it on repeat to the point where I had every little nook and cranny memorized in a game.
Fair enough.
So I always needed that Konami code to survive Contra.
Sounds good.
So yeah, right. So a very happy 35th birthday to Gradius. Happy 35th retro birthday to the Konami code. Up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start.
Yes.
Get you whatever you need for Konami.
That's awesome to hear. And then I think finally we can wrap this up by saying that, talking about the Analogue, talking about TurboGrafx. There's actually a newer video game system that is about to be released.
Yes.
And, it's funny, in a way where a lot of times, systems may go from like the home console to handheld, Genesis to the Nomad, TurboGrafx, you were able to use the same card handheld if you have TurboGrafx Express. The Switch is designed to do both.
Yeah.
But this is a little system that's going the opposite. It started handheld, but now it's going to the home, like to the television itself.
Yep.
And we're talking about the Evercade with the release of or soon to be released, Evercade Versus.
Yes, which is really cool when you think about it. I mean, because I think the big news that came out of Evercade before were going to be those handheld. It was going to be a handheld system with the cartridges that you plug
exactly. In. And it's taken off. I mean, it's very successful.
Yep.
You can buy it on Amazon. I know that for a fact.
Yep.
There are, I think, if I did my count correct, over 40 cartridges already.
Yeah,
and we're not.
That's pretty, substantial for.
And we're not talking homebrews. We're talking Data East, Atari, Namco, and Interplay.
The Worms collection is
exactly
a new one.
These are Technos. These are high-end games, and some recently, ones from Kickstarter, like Xenocrisis was a Kickstarter.
Yeah, what's funny though, when you look these up on Amazon, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like they have them listed under Nintendo DS and Sega Genesis.
Well, that's that.
Oopsie.
Yeah, that's Amazon for you.
Yeah.
Between all the cartridges, there's 217 games for this.
Yeah, that's amazing for a console.
So, right there. And we've talked about this years ago. In fact, I had one on pre-order until I canceled it.
Mm-hmm. Probably should have been the pre-order you kept.
Probably. The Evercade started off as a handheld, and it was meant to bring back that old school arcade gaming.
Yep.
And with the collections that we started listing, you can't go wrong with these.
No.
Interchangeable cartridges, which is like the first time in a long time we've seen a new system do that.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, you were able to connect the handheld to the television.
Yes.
But now with the Evercade Versus, this is a dedicated system.
Yes.
That will purposely connect to the television.
Yeah, which is awesome.
You can plug in 4 controllers. And the most interesting part about this system, and it uses those same cartridges from the handheld versions you use in the Evercade Versus. What's interesting about this is you can load in 2 cartridges at the same time to the Evercade Versus.
Oh, that's interesting.
So even though all the carts are multi-carts anyway, now like if you have two that you always play all the time,
yep,
you can just load both of them in already.
That's really cool. So then when you're playing with, when you're playing with friends or playing alone, you have 12 games to choose from at the same time.
Probably at most, yeah. It has a very Nintendo feel to it because you lift the flap up and then you put the cartridges in.
Nice.
And you lower the flap. Some information about it. Let me just see if I can just read some information here. Let's see. So it'll be in 1080p, full HD, quad core, 1.5 gigahertz processor for you nerds out there.
Nice. Hello, nerds.
It features the best in class emulation, Wi-Fi capability, so it can receive firmware updates, game updates. Let's see what else. Up to 4 players simultaneously. Shush. You have your cat. I have the dog. What? I'm almost done. I fed you already. It's got the 4 front controllers, the 4 front buttons. What?
Just put your hand down and pet him.
Thank you. No, she's too far away from me.
Oh, okay.
And both of us are too lazy to get close to each other.
Got it.
I don't see a price for this right now. Please ignore me. I don't see a price for it right now. You just sign up for the pre-order release, nor do I see a date right now. Mm-hmm. But this thing looks like, again, it's not for the hardcore gamers, I would say, but for the casual player. Can you, Trixie, please, come here. I know you're like 90, but come on. All right. For the casual players or casual families, I think this is going to be well worth being home. And while you're talking, I'm going to mute.
Okay. I think the Evercade does sound like a really good purchase. Again, it always boils down to the games that come out for it and if you want them, because the other issue will always be there are a lot of games on there you may already own on another console or virtual console or something like that. But still, the fact that they keep coming out with cartridges, so it's not like it's just here's a limited set, buy it, it's over. They're just continuing to do it. So as long as they keep producing, I think it's a great little system to consider owning.
Yeah, no, they're definitely not stopping making cartridges. In fact, I think one of the cartridges coming up is a specific, like, I'll call it homebrew cartridges with original games on them like that. Mm-hmm. So this thing's definitely not stopping.
Cool.
I almost picked up for the Lynx collection. That's kind of why I was doing it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, definitely check it out. I honestly think this is a great, even if you get the handheld version, it's a great on-the-go system with fantastic games. So definitely check them out. To put it into perspective, I think the handheld version is only like $100 maybe.
No, that's not bad.
If I know correctly. So,
yeah, it's not bad at all.
Amazon, Best Buy here in the U.S., they're selling them. Cartridges go for about $20 each. I'm just looking at it right now. Mm-hmm. The system itself, I cannot find quick. about $100 for the system, the handheld system, and 3 games. 3 carts.
That's not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
Nope.
So definitely check them out.
Very cool.
Other than that, that's really about it. That's all I am interested in talking about.
Well, and that's all I'm interested in talking about with you.
Oh, well, I appreciate the honesty.
No problem.
So before this dog starts barking, your cat starts sleeping on your shoulders again.
He's sleeping on the couch now.
Oh, he's done. He's out.
Yeah, he's out. He's out cold.
And where can they find us?
You guys can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/RetroGamersPodcast, on Instagram at RetroGamersPodcast, on Twitter at RetroGamersPod. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts, or you can watch us on YouTube or IGTV. Mm-hmm. And you can also email us at email@theretrogamers.com. That is all of it.
Sounds good. And with that, it'll be another week. I'll be back home next week. So the background, you'll see all the pop vinyls again.
And my background will not change, baby.
Awesome. Well, in the meantime, man, have a wonderful week.
You have a great week as well.
And we will catch you everywhere next week on the Retro Gamers Podcast.